All right, what up? In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 signs of an incompatible long-term partnership like marriage. At the very end of the video, I'm going to share a funny one from one of my subscribers on Instagram that I thought was interesting and I wanted to get your take on. But first, let's go over the 5 signs of an incompatible marriage or long-term partnership. Okay, the very first one, of course, is one of you really wants to understand the other person. And you do a good job of listening and being curious, etc. And the other person loses interest after the honeymoon stage in you. And they don't care to investigate who you are, your history, your interests, your dreams, your fears, your insecurities. They lose interest. And so now you guys are incompatible because one of you is like very curious and wants to get to know you, and the other one doesn't really want to get to know the other person. Okay, this is actually pretty tragic, honestly, when it happens. Sign number 2, you have different values that are deal breakers. Examples include one of you is into vaccines, one of you is not into vaccines. Okay, that is going to be very hard to work out. One of you wants to parent with kind of a control and dominate and fear, and the other one wants to parent with understanding, listening, compassionate, caring vibes. Your parenting styles are different. Another example is one of you wants to live on the ocean and one of you wants to live in the mountains. That one can be worked out because, there's just a lot couples have to navigate there. But, and finally, let's say another one is you just have nothing in common over time. You did in the beginning, you thought, and then you start to polarize over time. You're like, wow, you're really different than me. And wow, you really like different things. And you value money differently. You value travel differently. You value politics differently. You just value different stuff. And you have very little overlap on a Venn diagram, right? You want on a Venn diagram to have a big chunk of overlapping values that you both are a hell yes to, okay? The third sign that your relationship might be incompatible is that, I talk a lot about this, is one of you is into growth and development, like personal growth, and the other person is not. The person that's into personal growth goes to therapy, does coaching, watches this YouTube video, listens to my podcast, other podcasts on health and growing and relationships and how to get there, how to get financial success. You actually learn and apply yourself to reach your goals, and you never stop learning and growing. That's a person who has a high value on personal growth and development, and often they find themselves with a partner who has a very low value or no value on growth and development. For example, when the marriage gets hard, the one person who's into growth is like, let's go to therapy, let's read some books, let's get some help, we got to get through this snag, we got to learn some stuff. And the other person's like, what? This should be easy. Why are you so difficult? You're so sensitive. Why are you so needy? And they just clamp down and they don't want to learn anything.
I don't want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Because they arrogantly think they've got it and they don't. So that's an example of where this plays out in a marriage, and it's extremely painful. Okay, so you definitely want to find people. If you want a successful marriage, you want to find someone who is an awesome teammate who's willing to grow when the shit gets hard. Sign number 4, you can't work through conflict and challenge together like a team. Every marriage has conflict over time, some more than others. Conflict is an inevitable part of life. It's an inevitable part of family. It's an inevitable part of being married. If you don't understand that and you think marriage should be easy, we're back to being pretty incompatible, because the person that's like, gosh, this is so hard, I don't want to work on it. I don't want to work to understand you. I don't want to learn how to work through conflict and read Jason's book. This is just high maintenance. This should be way simpler, right? We're getting into a major incompatibility in working through conflict and repairing effectively. Let's say you and I get in a fight and it's pretty bad.
Get away from me!
It was a mistake. I made a mistake, okay?
A mistake?
Well, I am into growth and development, so I'm going to learn what is my part. How do I need to help you calm down and come back into connection with me? How do I get this marriage back to a good place? I'm going to be learning about that, and I'm going to be learning about conflict and repair. I'm going to learn about the brain and the nervous system, and I'm going to get coaching from people. I'm going to follow different people on Instagram to learn, how do I do this better? The other person is, they conflict, the big fight happens, let's say it's you, and you're like, no, I didn't do anything. It's all you. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why you're overreacting. Why are you making a big deal out of nothing? And I get that response. Well, if you genuinely think there's nothing to repair, how can we repair? And I'm over here like feeling unsafe now. Okay, we're incompatible again. Okay, number 5, lack of attraction. Okay, this is a big one because obviously to be married to someone, we want to feel chemistry.
Sorry, Mrs. Reagan.
And a sense of attraction, like we want to have sex with them. We want to snuggle with them. We like the touch that we receive from them. We like how they are sensual with us. We want to have a sensual, sexual connection with each other over time that lasts decades, doesn't last just the honeymoon phase. And for married couples, this can be a challenge over time. So you have to work at it. And you have to learn, like, how do we reignite that spark? How do we stay sexually really turned on with each other? And how do we take good care of our bodies and our health so that we stay attractive to our partner? All this stuff leads to compatibility. If one of you wants sex and the other one doesn't, or one of you really takes good care of yourself and the other one doesn't, again, now we're starting to get into we're not attracted to each other, or one of us isn't attracted to the other one, and it becomes a big, huge problem. Okay, let's go over, sure, there's probably more. Leave a comment below if you got them. I had, on my Instagram channel, people left dozens and dozens of comments. Here is my favorite one. This is from Mythic Feminine. You don't naturally smell good to each other. I thought that was interesting. But to Mythic Feminine, that matters, I think. I think this was a serious comment, not a joke. I think smell and the sound of a person's voice, and even how they talk, and how they chew their food sometimes. Over time, this can be really triggering for people that have an issue with smell, or an issue with how to be touched, or an issue with how someone chews their food. That can be, for some people, a deal breaker. I think those things can be worked through, like smell. It's like my natural smell is my natural smell. You either like it or you don't. And there's probably things I can do in my gut microbiome and my health that could potentially change how I smell. For example, some people have heavy duty BO. Some people get the fear sweats. All that could contribute to my partner being unattracted to me. So in a long-term marriage, the bottom line here is that we can make anything a problem, anything an issue. You want to go after the big ones that are going to make you guys compatible. And I would say it's your shared values, okay, on that Venn diagram, that there's a big overlap, that you're both willing to work through conflict and repair effectively. That means you're into growth and development because you would learn how, because you didn't grow up learning how, most likely. And you really give a shit about each other's success. You say what I call, you stand for 3. You stand for your own success, their success, and the success of the relationship. All right, thanks for subscribing here. Leave a comment below if this video was useful, and we'll see you in the next video.